One day, a young boy is walking forward against the bone-piercing wind in the snow. His name is Nie Feng. From a cave, he senses a thick bloody smell and murderous intent, which belonged to none other than his father. As he goes deeper into the cave, the bloody smell is getting thicker. He shouts out for his father.
"Dad, where are you?"
But what greets him is a fierce black wind that comes to his face. He bends his body, dodging a swipe, then he steps his feet to pull back the distance. When he regains his posture, he sees a tiger in the cave. Facing the tiger, Nie Feng looks calm, revealing an unwavering demeanor. Because of this astounding demeanor, the tiger is startled and doesn't dare to make a move lightly. The time seems to have frozen as they face each other without moving. Suddenly, a man holding a torch appears from above. It's exactly his father, Renwang. Being distracted by the appearance of his father, the tiger let out a rumbling roar and pounces toward Nie Feng. But he just asks the tiger to leave with a pitiful tone.
"I don't mean to harm you."
As he spoke, he dodged like a gust of wind. In a split second, his father has jumped down from the hill and slashed. The tiger's head is chopped off, and the blood directly splashes onto Nie Feng's face. Nie Feng wasn't afraid of the tiger just now. Instead, he was worried that it would be killed. Unfortunately, he still couldn't save the tiger. When the blood flows, the snow melts. Is it due to the warm blood of the tiger or the fiery heart of Nie Feng? No one knows the answer. Although he can only see from the back, he can still sense that his father's murderous intent is more intense. Nie Renwang picks up the severed tiger's head and drinks its blood. Seeing this, Nie Feng knows that his father has gone even more insane after not seeing him for a year. In this snowland, even if Nie Feng has the will of iron, how can a young body resist the freezing temperature? He can't help trembling all over. Nie Renwang scoops up the blood that is still warm and lets him drink it. But Nie Feng rejects it. In rage, Nie Renwang kicks the snow onto Nie Feng, pulls his head and forces him to drink it. Suddenly, Nie Renwang jumps up and launches.
Blade art, frozen 3 feet.
As white lights flash, the blade force has already slashed Nie Feng. It turns out that Nie Renwang isn't going to kill him. The blade force only slashes his clothes apart, showing the finest control of his transcended blade arts. Nie Renwang believes that his son will eventually drink the blood in the snow. Suddenly, a round of muffled growls come from the cave, which are a few tiger cubs. Seeing the tiger corpse, they crawl forward and whimpered. When Nie Renwang sees the surviving tiger cubs, he rises up and wants to decimate them all. At the critical moment, a cold aura assaults from the side, startling Nie Renwang. He turns back and blocks with a hand knife. It turns out to be a snowball thrown by Nie Feng. When Nie Renwang is stopped, Nie Feng stops before the tiger cubs and persuades his father to let them go. Nie Renwang can only land on the ground. When he looks back, Nie Feng has moved to his front, leaving no trace on the snow. Nie Renwang slaps his son for stopping him with such insignificant skill. Worrying for the safety of the tiger cubs, Nie Feng raised his arm to block. Although the arm is small, it is full of inner chi. When Nie Feng is pleading his father, the tiger cub unexpectedly bites his leg. Nie Renwang kicks him into the air and reprimands him.
"These ungrateful creatures will only betray you like your mother."
He no longer reserves his force and knocks Nie Feng a dozen meters away. Then, he slashes the tiger cub in half. The head rolls to the front of Nie Feng with its eyes wide open as if it died with a grievance. Soon after, the remaining cubs are decimated. At this point, it is already helpless. A hot tear slid down his face, but his heart is even hotter. As he can't catch his breath, he spurts blood and faints right away. Before his mind completely turns blank, the manic laughter of Nie Renwang becomes louder and louder. Half an hour later, Nie Renwang has raised a fire and is barbecuing the tiger meat. While eating, the beast-like eyes still stared at the fainted son outside the cave. The snowstorm outside is still roaring wildly. Half of Nie Feng's body is covered in snow. If he still doesn't wake up, he will definitely be frozen to death. Nie Renwang shouts at him.
"You must stand up on your own."
No one can help him, not even his father. But what about Nie Renwang? He fell for the trap of love, but can he stand up himself? The will to survive allows Nie Feng to stand up. He smells the tasty meat coming from the cave. Now that he is hungry and cold, he has no choice but to pace slowly toward the cave. After sitting down, his father passes over the tiger meat. Nie Feng hesitates slightly before taking the tiger meat and eating it. Nie Renwang laughs at his fear of death and asks,
"Where's your gut for not drinking the tiger blood just now?"
Nie Feng refuted.
"I'm eating the tiger meat to survive so that one day I will defeat you and stop your madness."
Upon hearing this, Nie Renwang gives him a thumbs up.
"Ha ha ha, you're really my son."
In a place named Les Han Giant Buddha, a kid, Duan Lang, will be here, measuring the river water level 3 times a day, regardless of the weather. He finds that the water level today has risen again, and his dad will be delighted to know about it. Then, 3 kids throw stones at him, making fun of his unusual behavior. Although Duan Lang has forgiven them several times, they still do not stop the bully. He must teach them a lesson today. He picks up a wooden stick and throws it at the leg of a kid, tripping him over. He rushes forward and gives them a painful lesson. Meanwhile, a small boat is moving forward against the strong current. The passengers on the boat are Nie Renwang and Nie Feng. They seem to be going toward the Les Han Giant Buddha. In the strong current, the small boat slams into the cliff. Duan Lang, who has vented his anger, is going to retrieve the rope when he hears a loud noise. The Nie father and son duo jump up and land inside the pavilion. Seeing a man with a saber, Duan Lang hurries over and asks Nie Renwang,
Are you looking for the Southland Sword Pinnacle? I'm Duan Lang. My father, Southland Sword Pinnacle, has been waiting for you.
Nie Renwang replies with affirmation. As the conversation ensues, Duan Lang has already jumped up a dozen meters. Nie Renwang just let his son keep the saber for him. Then, Nie Renwang jumps up like an arrow. When Duan Lang barely reaches the top of the giant Buddha, Nie Renwang has already reached the peak. At the mountain, Nie Renwang immediately senses a suffocating sword chi. Sensing the sharp sword chi, Nie Renwang is even more high-spirited. He charges toward the source of the sword chi immediately. Duan Shui also senses the arrival of the great opponent. Similarly, the Flame Lin sword is also buzzing in excitement. The scene returns to Duan Lang and Nie Feng. The few kids who got punished bring over a few martial artists. But, Nie Feng is in deep thought.
Why did father let me keep the saber that has never left his side? Is there a special reason?
Just as the martial artist is about to attack Nie Feng with a bamboo stick, Duan Lang leaps from the top.